Okay, let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive today into something pretty fundamental in the RC world.
Mm-hmm.
The look, the feel, the aesthetic difference between, say, a Traxxas vehicle and a Tamiya kit. It's huge.
It really is. You see,
Yeah.
people describe Traxxas as, well, functional, maybe even ugly.
Right. And Tamiya gets words like awesome, scale, beautiful.
Exactly. And our mission here is to figure out why. It's not random. It goes right back to the companies themselves.
It feels like Traxxas builds something to survive hitting a wall at 50 miles per hour.
Pretty much. While Tamiya builds something that looks incredible just sitting on a shelf.
That's the core conflict we're exploring. Thrill versus art form, almost.
You definitely put it that way.
Yeah.
Tamiya's story starts way back, post-war Japan, 1946. They came out of a lumber business, actually.
Wow, right.
And their whole identity is built on craftsmanship, detail, scale, accuracy. Their motto is first in quality. It's about fidelity.
So quality means realism for them.
Precisely. Think about their first big RC car, the Porsche 934 Turbo, a 1/12 scale beauty. They didn't just eyeball it.
No.
No, the story goes they actually got a real Porsche 934
Go.
and took it apart to measure everything. They wanted a functional scale model.
Yeah.
For Tamiya, the build, the process, is the product.
Okay, that dedication is intense, but it also sounds complicated, like a lot of work before you even drive anything.
It is. And that sets up the perfect contrast with Traxxas, right?
Yeah.
They show up 40 years later, 1986, down in Texas.
And they see that complexity as a problem to solve.
Exactly. They look at those complex kits, all the building and painting, and saw a massive barrier. People just wanted to drive.
So they basically invented the ready-to-run idea, RTR.
They pioneered it, yeah.
Yeah.
To slash that barrier to entry, their whole mission was speed action right now. It's even in their motto, the fastest name in radio control.
Performance, driving, that's the product.
The experience of driving, yes.
Yeah.
Forget the long build here, 60, 70, maybe even 100 miles an hour, straight out of the box.
Okay, this is where it gets super interesting for me. If Traxxas is all about speed, and let's face it, crashing,
Yeah.
bashing, right. Doesn't that force them to ditch aesthetics? People call those bodies featureless tubs sometimes.
Well, yeah, but it's not really ditching aesthetics. It's embracing a different kind of aesthetic, the aesthetic of survival.
Explain that.
Those smooth, simple-looking polycarbonate shells. They're shaped by function. They need to be reasonably aerodynamic at high speed.
Okay.
And maybe more importantly, they need to protect the guts of the car when it tumbles end over end. Form follows function brutally sometimes.
And the materials too, right? They use that super bendy plastic everywhere. Suspension arms, chassis parts.
It doesn't
Right.
feel realistic.
Because realistic often means brittle. Think about who they're selling to. The basher community, you mentioned it.
Right, people launching these things off ramps, driving through mud, huge jumps, hard landings, inevitable crashes. You need parts that flex like crazy and snap back. If a suspension arm was super detailed and rigid like a real car's, it would just shatter on the first bad landing.
Ah, okay. So the lack of detail is the feature, in a way. It means you keep driving.
It's durability by design. Keep the fun going.
Makes perfect sense. So then how does Tamiya pull off their magic trick? How do they get that incredible detail and realism without things just exploding on contact?
Well, they're usually not aiming for 70-mile-per-hour bashing sessions, first off.
Yeah.
But also, it's about a smarter hybrid approach.
Hybrid.
Yeah. Even their famous buggies like the Grasshopper or the Hornet, which are fictional designs, they feel plausible because they're based on real archetypes like old Baja racers.
Okay, grounded in reality.
Right. And then technically, they use polycarbonate for the main body shell
Yeah,
because it is tough and takes impacts well.
like Traxxas does.
Yes, but then they add separate parts made from a harder plastic, ABS usually, injection molded.
Ah, so the detail bits.
Exactly. Things like wing mirrors, grills, maybe light buckets, wipers. The stuff that gives it that sharp scale look.
Yeah.
They blend the toughness of polycarbonate with the fidelity of ABS.
And decals do a lot of heavy lifting too, I guess, for lights and trim.
High-quality decals, absolutely. It's this layered approach. They aren't just making toys. It's much closer to model building. It requires patience, skill in painting.
It's a different kind of satisfaction.
Totally different. It's the satisfaction of creation, of craft.
So, wrapping this up, what does this mean for you listening to this, maybe choosing a vehicle? It sounds like the look really tells you what the experience is designed for.
That's it exactly. If you see a Traxxas, you know it's about immediate, probably aggressive action. Waterproofing, maybe that self-righting feature they have. It's all about keeping the truck running no matter what. That's the priority.
You're buying into the basher experience.
Yes. Whereas if you look at a Tamiya box, you see the promise of a project. The value is in the build, the painting, the detailing, achieving that scale realism.
Yeah.
You're appreciating the craft.
So choosing Tamiya is sort of validating the hobby as an art form almost. A detailed project, not just a quick thrill.
I think that's a fair way to put it. It respects the process.
Which leaves us with a kind of provocative thought, doesn't it?
Oh.
If aesthetics really do follow the corporate mission that closely,
Yeah.
does pushing for maximum scale detail, that perfect Tamiya look, inherently limit how extreme the performance can be?
That's interesting. Like, can you have both perfect realism and 100-mile-per-hour bash-proof durability? Maybe not.
Maybe not. Something to think about next time you're weighing up, a perfectly molded little scale detail versus a smooth, featureless shell built purely for speed and survival. Where do your priorities lie?